This is your radio, K-Man. And now,
Radio K-Man presents
The Business Buzz, an insightful and fresh take on a variety of issues that impact the local business environment. This is where we address the business topics that matter.
Radio K-Man's Business Buzz.
Here's your host,
Anita Khan.
Hello, good morning. It's Thursday. It's a beautiful Thursday morning, April 20th, and this is the Business Buzz. Of course, today we only have one segment of the buzz, so we're going to make the most of the time we have this morning. I want to say good morning to our listeners, our YouTube viewers, the producer of the buzz, Miss Susan Watson, holding it down on the other end of the studio. We are also we have our guests in the show. I want to say good morning to them. We've invited Beacon Farms to our studio to take a look at their non-profit operation. Our guests in studio this morning, you know what? I'm going to let them introduce themselves. We'll start with the gentleman on my left. Good morning.
Good morning. My name's Sandy Urquhart, and I'm the Chief Operating Officer of Beacon Farms.
Good morning, Sandy. You're no stranger to Radio K-Man?
No.
We're going to start charging you rent. And next to you we have...
Good morning. I'm Sasha Appleby, and I'm the administrator at Beacon Farms, and I also manage the agricultural production unit and provide scientific support to the rest of the staff.
And you do everything else.
Well, a little of everything, yes.
Well, good morning to you, Sasha. Good morning, the gentleman. Well, a little bit across from Sasha.
Good morning, I'm Robert Ramon. I'm the agriculture production supervisor at Beacon Farms. I plant everything, let everything grow, we eat.
All right, sounds good to me. Well, good morning, Robert. Good morning to all three of you this morning. And Beacon Farms, just in case you guys were here back in 2021. But before I ask you how it's been between 21 to now, just to give our listeners and our viewers an insight into Beacon Farms. Can you tell us what Beacon Farm represents, what it's all about, its mission and the history, main objectives, and everything else?
Well, I could start, and then I'll let Sasha continue. But it was founded in order to allow addicts and alcoholics in recovery a location at the far end of the island, some peace and quiet, involved in agriculture on a farm, and the farm was purchased by the Howe Foundation and donated to the Beacon of Hope K-Man Foundation, which is us. Mm-hmm. And that's the basic history. And I'll let Sasha, if you want to talk about the rest of the question.
Yeah, sure. So, as Mr. Urquhart said, the farm is purchased as a place for people in recovery, and we are continuing that objective. We try to hire people who have gone through a period of rehab. They're getting themselves back on their feet, and they're looking for employment. And as many people may know, when you have a history of substance abuse, you might have a criminal background at that point. Finding employment is difficult. So we try to be a place where they can begin again, get back into society, get some money in their account, get a good job history behind them, so that even if they don't stay at the farm, they can move on and say, I've completed 3 years with this company. I've, been a good employee, etc., and they can try and improve their lives and move on from the wreckage of substance abuse. And besides being a place where people in recovery can find work, we also try to do some innovative things at the farm. So our sponsor, Mr. Howe, the Howe Foundation, he has quite a few revolutionary ideas about agriculture. So we try to facilitate some of those ideas that he has, the mechanized farming, rock tilling, things like that. So it's also quite an innovative place as well.
Robert, you're dying to say something.
Yeah, we have really improved since the first time we've been here. Mm-hmm. We only had the research garden. We have grown from...
This is back in 2021, right?
2021.
Okay.
We have grown to commercial A, commercial B, commercial C, commercial D, and we also have a vegetable garden.
You'll have to explain what all those are.
And we also have...
Not just represent.
Yeah. In those gardens, we we started off doing tobacco. Now, in those gardens, we got okra, eggplants, sweet peppers, hot peppers. So, we improving more and more, but, our greatest thing is soil. So, but we're getting there bit by bit.
So are you still doing tobacco?
Yeah, we're still doing tobacco, but not as, not just tobacco, no. Thank God we have
So you
improved.
got cash crops.
Right.
Okay.
And also Sasha's department, the production department, that's really kicking off real nice too. Mango jam, pepper sauce, etc. Juices. She's doing a great job.
We're expanding our product line.
Yeah.
I was looking at Facebook and I saw you had a mechanical coconut grater.
That's right, yeah.
How much do you do that every day? Do you produce grated coconut every day?
It's kind of a week-long process.
Okay.
Because we process so many, or we try to process so many coconuts at once. That's what the machinery is there for, to help make that process efficient. Because anybody with no husking a coconut, grating a coconut, it's a lot of work. And if you want to do that on a large scale, it's going to take a lot of labor. So Mr. Howe, he brought in machinery from India, who India is a big producer of coconut oil. So they have pretty much developed these machines that assist with that. So we have a machine that does the husking. We have a machine that does the grating. We have a machine that squeezes out the milk, etc. So when we process a batch. I mean, we're talking about like maybe 100 coconuts at a time. And that goes through about a week-long process.
And you make coconut oil?
We make coconut oil and we make other products. We try not to waste any of the coconut, actually. The husk goes into the compost. The shell can be used in arts and crafts. The grated coconut, of course, the oil is extracted, but what's left over, the actual grated coconut meat, is dried and turned into flour. So we use basically all of the coconut. And then the oil that's been produced can be used in other products as well. So the oil can then be, that we make, can then be used in things like lip balm, soaps, body creams, and things like that.
Yeah,
I just love that machine. I could sit there and watch that all morning.
Well,
the husker is pretty impressive.
They've been really incredible because although Sasha says, the machinery came from India,
Oh yeah,
it was actually adjusted and improved on by
Closer to your mic for me.
by our own staff. And so they've been innovative in creating the actual machinery that they use. One of our biggest problems is, of course, is coconuts. Unbelievably, we need about 6,000 coconuts a month, and brown coconuts. And of course, people don't keep them on the trees simply because it's quite sensible because of the hurricane season, and also most trees are around your house, and the idea of keeping them on there if it's windy and they land on your car and so on. So we're the last people in the food chain, in the sense that it's difficult for us to get brown coconuts.
coconut.
Yeah. But so what we've done is we've started planting our own, and we have about 4.5 to 500 coconut trees.
How long will it
already
take
planted.
you to get coconuts?
We're probably looking now at about 3 years before we start to see harvest from those, and then that would allow us to become independent of the chain eventually.
So, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say that Sasha and in the agricultural production unit, the job that she's done in developing all the different lines of produce has been absolutely amazing, because we started from scratch. Nobody knew anything about what we were doing. And as if you remember, in 2021, we were just starting out on our journey. And since then, she's managed to produce, from lip balm to soap to coconut oil.
I'm hearing that
and
now.
so on, and that's amazing. We're very close to being able to produce sufficient to go into the supermarkets. We're hoping that during 2023 that that we'll be able to do that and increase another one of our revenue streams.
So right now, what you're producing, what do you do with that?
We sell it. Independently, so we sell it through our shop on the farm, and we sell it online, and we've now taken on a part-time sales rep. So we're hoping that in the next few months she will start moving it around the island and dropping into people's shops and seeing if they'll take our produce.
That means, Robert, you'll be working harder, right?
Oh yeah,
You'll be
real
planting
hard.
more.
Yeah,
Because we need the produce from his department, the peppers and the tomatoes and things like that, to make the other products that we produce in the agricultural production unit. So, things like the hot pepper jelly and the mango pepper sauce and stuff that we make. We need to get the raw ingredients from the commercial growing department.
So Robert, how did you get started with Beacon Farms?
One day I was at the hospital and I see Mr. Bud Walensky, and he asked me, what am I doing now? Because I'm an ambitious person. I was in recovery at that moment, at that time, and I told him I wasn't doing nothing at that time, just some side jobs, He's telling me if I wanted to come join his team, so I said, sure. That's how I got started. From ever since, going on 6 years now I've been there. Yeah, but we putting something together that I know nowhere on the island has it. Mechanizing planting. The machine will do all the plant, putting all the plastic on, the drip tape on, all the planting. 2 guys get in the back of the machine, put the plants in, drops right in the ground. So it'll be more easier, and maybe we can lower some prices down once we get it, because I think that's what the island really need. The island's getting really costly now, so that's what we're aiming with Destiny.
Yeah,
mechanical planting.
Yeah, it's gonna, because what Robert's alluding to is that he's had to plant everything to date manually, and the whole staff. So they've had to lay the polythene down in the fields, they lay the irrigation out, and then they do the planting with the seedlings manually. What we're working on right now, in fact, one of the reasons that Anthony couldn't be here today, the head of our machinery department, is he's talking to some farmers in Italy on the phone today about mechanizing our farming. And what we have is a smaller tractor. It tows behind it a planting machine, and that it totally mechanizes the manner in which we would be farming going forward this year. So we'll be able to lay the irrigation, as Robert said, lay the polythene, and then plant the seedlings all from the back of a tractor. And the time difference is enormous.
Okay, so I'm just trying to get a picture here, Sandy. The seedlings, you have to set them, get them, and this is transferring them from being a seedling mechanically, not sowing seeds from a truck.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm just trying to picture that.
Yeah.
Right.
So what Robert does, well, you go ahead,
Yeah,
Robert.
explain.
Yeah,
Explain.
you hit the red on in there. The seedlings, we grow them into our greenhouse first. Get them into potted babies, but they got to be the right height. They can't be too tall, and they can't be too short.
See, about 4 inches?
About 6 inches.
6 inches.
Yeah.
Okay.
Once they're 6 inches, then we put them into the machine. It's it saves a lot of back
But you still
aches
have to
and
dig
back pains.
holes to put.
No, it does everything.
Oh,
Yeah.
that is neat.
Everything.
That is
Dig
neat.
all the holes and everything.
So no more bending over and
Right.
digging and.
Right. So it
okay.
gives the staff more time now to take care of the plants. Yeah. Fertilize, insecticide.
That's genius.
Yeah.
And
If
yeah.
we can get it going,
Yeah.
I mean, I think it'll open a lot of eyes. Some of the farmers that might see it on the island might be inspired by.
So how many
that machine.
machinery do you have? Just one?
One.
Just one.
Yeah, but I
Was
mean,
that
if you-
costly to get?
Well,
Yeah, it
it's-
was fairly expensive, but it's designed for small farms, and
Small
it was
farms.
we bought it in Italy because it's used in Italy in very small hill farms where the
Grapes and
tractors
stuff
have
like
to turn around in a small space. So it fits perfectly with the sort of scale of farming that we do on the island.
So maybe you can rent it out when you're not using it.
That's another revenue stream that we actually are already doing. All our machinery is rentable.
Okay.
And in fact, the rock crusher, which is the biggest innovation that we have, is currently working on somebody else's farm right now. So, and it's going to be there for another 4 or 5 weeks. That's a revenue stream in its own right. Because once you've crushed the rock, if you do have land that's got a lot of rock on it, the rock isn't taken away like we would traditionally pile it up to one side. You crush the rock, it turns to dust, you apply your organic matter to that, you plow that in, and suddenly you have soil. So you have an acre, and instead of spot planting like this, you can plant in straight lines as you would in a country that has a lot of fertile soil. It's that simple.
I'm trying to picture that. On that note, we're going to take a quick break. I'd like to say thanks to our sponsor this morning of the Business Buzz, Cayman Insurance Center.
I'm Michael Webster.
And I'm Denise Brown of Cayman Insurance Center.
Family is not the most important thing, it's everything.
And for 45 years, we have worked with the community and their families on protecting themselves for the future.
Whether it's providing top-rated life insurance
or protecting your family's household investment.
From our family to yours, we understand and we care.
I'm Denise Brown. Call me at 814-7229.
And I'm Michael Webster at 925-5433.
We are Cayman Insurance Center,
specializing in property, life, and other lines of insurance products and services at an affordable rate. We are Michael and
Denise at Cayman Insurance Center.
Call today.
Ladies and gentlemen, after a 3-year hiatus, Junior Badabanu is back.
Look where we reach again.
That's right. The streets of Georgetown will come alive on Saturday, April 22nd, when Junior Badabanu will present colorful costumes with this year's theme, A Hearing Drums.
Look where we reach again.
The Family Fun Day will start at 2 p.m. with food, face painting, and much more. It's going to be a whole heap of fun for the entire family. Junior Badabanu Street Parade begins at 4 p.m. on Saturday from the lawns of the Glass House. Winds through the street of Georgetown and returns to the Glass House for the big finale and awards for the best Junior Badabanu bands. Come celebrate the juniors' unforgettable memories this Saturday at Junior Badabanu Street Parade. Sponsored by Cayman National, Saxon, Cayman Airways, Pepsi, RBC, the Department of Tourism, and Radio Cayman. Tune in every Monday through Friday at 12 p.m. for Radio Cayman's Midday Newscast. Radio Cayman, the People's Station, your trusted official source for the latest news. The 12 p.m. news is proudly brought to you by Health City Cayman Islands. World-class healthcare within your reach.
Hey moms and dads, get the whole family to lace up your shoes and join us for our annual Deputy Governor's 5K Run Walk Challenge. Whether you're a seasoned runner or just looking for a fun, healthy family activity, this event is for you. Join us April 30 in Grand Cayman. Do something good for your body and have fun while supporting our local community. Proceeds benefit Loud Silent Voices, the Cayman Islands Red Cross, and the United Against Bullying Foundation. The DG's 5K could not happen without support from our platinum sponsor, Applebee, and gold sponsors, Butterfield Credit Union, DART, Davenport Development, EY, and our halfway point sponsor, Cineco. $25 for adults and $10 for kids 17 and under. Register at www.racecaribbean.net. Don't miss out on this opportunity to have fun, get fit, and support our community. See you at the start line.
Business Buzz. Business Buzz with your host, Anita Khan.
Good morning. Welcome back to the Business Buzz. We're happy to have in the studio from Beacon Farms this morning, Sasha Appleby. Sasha is the administration manager. We have Mr. Robert Ramon. Robert is the agriculture production supervisor. And we have Mr. Sandy Urquhart. Sandy is the CEO of Beacon Farms. And good things are going on over at Beacon Farms. And this all costs money. You're a non-profit.
Yes.
How do you, besides growing your own crops and renting your machinery and all that, how do you generate funds to maintain Beacon Farms?
We're currently funded by the Howe Family Foundation, and there's a family that have lived here for over 40 years, and they wanted to give back to the country, and they bought the farm originally, donated it to the Beacon of Hope Cayman Foundation, which is our locally registered charity. And they have been the sole funder for the farm since the beginning. And unfortunately, through financial circumstances, Their family foundation is extended because they have so many different charities that they're involved in. They are slowly reducing the amount of funding that we get each month. And by the December 2023, we are going to be on our own. We will not have any specific funding. So in answer to the second section of your question, we're currently working as hard as we can to find alternate donors. Our objective is to become financially sustainable. However, that was the projected date for that was the end of 2025, the beginning of 2026. And the fact that we've had our funding reduced unexpectedly, really, has pushed forward our attempts to find alternate donors, but also increase our own revenue dramatically to survive.
Well, you have the mic this morning. You can appeal for donors.
Well, we've been really fortunate that our the film about the farm came out recently. It was produced by Candy Wicker and her team, and it's an hour long. It's in the movie theatre at Kamana Bay now, and it's on every Wednesday until the end of May at 6:30 in the evening. And it's a wonderful story. It took them 3 years to make the film, and hundreds and hundreds of hours of Candy's time interviewing everybody and filming everything on the farm. And I think, people who've seen it would say it's an amazing story. And it's an amazing story about an amazing project, because Beacon Farms fulfills two huge areas for us as a country. One, it has a social program that's incredibly important. It gives opportunities to people who are in serious recovery, who want their lives to get straightened out. And secondly, it's working in an area where agriculture is primary. And with the global situation in food the way it is, food security is incredibly important. So some of the innovative farming techniques that we're using are of real value going forward for our country. So,
Wow, I want to say congratulations on the movie. What's the cost to view the movie?
It's a standard ticket.
Movie ticket, I think $12.50 or something.
But DART have been amazing. DART have allowed us to show the film there for free, and all of the money from the tickets, if you buy a ticket and go to see it, is given back to us at the charity. And I actually take this moment to say that I would like to thank the DART organisation for their amazing support in allowing us to do this, because it was actually originally on every day of the week. And they've just been remarkable in their support to Beacon.
Let's give the time again when it can be viewed. The days and the time?
It's Wednesdays at 6:30.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. That's, you know what, I'm guilty of not seeing it as well. Susan, have you seen it?
A look.
Have you seen it? No? Not yet. We promised to.
You've got to get some popcorn and go
Yes,
see it.
yes. I viewed a clip on Facebook, and I want to see more. That's it. But
everyone that I've spoken to that's seen it has just been so impressed and in awe and encouraging and they love it.
You're in it.
We're
Sasha.
all in it.
You're all in it. Sandy, Robert,
cast staff.
Yeah.
So we're all involved in it.
Okay.
And it's funny in places. I mean, it's a great story, and it's a true representation of the life on the farm and the challenges that we've had getting it together, because we've had to face storms that destroyed our crops. We had a fire at one point. We have people who, of course, sadly don't make it and have to move on. It's a real story, and it's not. It doesn't pretend to, gloss over things. It's a real story. And as Sasha said, people have stood up and applauded, whole audiences who've seen it. It's a very emotional and powerful story.
You have 34 acres of farming land.
Yeah, we have 34 acres, and we have...
That's a lot of land, Robert.
That's a lot of
Not
land.
farming all of that.
A lot.
And you're farming a whole lot right now.
A whole lot right now.
In the future, what other areas of agriculture especially are you looking at?
Well,
It's a question from our listeners this morning. One of our listeners.
As we grow, we talking about planting some yams, cocoa, long time food. It's just in case the island gets in a jam with food, they have a place they can run to, so it's not only like vegetables. Yeah.
Do you have breadfruit trees?
We do. Yellow heart.
Yellow heart.
Yeah.
We plan to plant a lot more.
Yeah.
I think one of the things we can talk about is a fruit tree orchard that we have coming up, that we have in our plans, and we would love to get some of those, as Robert was kind of alluding to, those more substantial crops, the breadfruit, ackee, cassava, and things like that can fill your stomach.
Yeah.
So, when we get our fruit tree orchard set up, which we're very close to planting out, those would be big components of the...
A lot more bread kind.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, let's talk a little bit about your staff, the rest of your staff. Sandy? Oh, Sasha?
Staff? Okay, well... I don't know what to say. They're composed of people who are in recovery. All of us are from the top down. All three of us here included.
Okay.
So, when staff come on board, they understand that it's so unlike any other place they may be working at, because we all have struggled with addiction. And if there's any issues, we would understand those issues. We're free to discuss it amongst ourselves, and help each other when we come into difficulties like that. At the same time, the staff is also made aware that it is a workplace. There are rules that need to be followed. There are policies that are in place. And that is for their benefit as well, because this might not be their last stop in terms of employment. We want to prepare them if they move on to some other job, that these are things will be expected of you. You'll be expected to be on time. You'll be expected to carry yourself properly, have respect for your coworkers, etc. So, I think that's the most I can say about the staff and how we're trying to.
So
if I'm
in recovery and I want to join your organization, how does that work?
Right. So we do have requirements. We don't just want someone to put down the bottle and say, I'm ready to work. They'd have to go into treatment. They need to have some time in recovery where, we know that they've gone to meetings if that's the program they're following. They have a sponsor. They have a stable place that they're living. They've got themselves
their license back.
got ID together, a bank account, things like that are necessary for them to re-enter the workforce. And so if they have those requirements, then we'll do an interview, and most of the time, if they have those requirements, we will take them on board. Of course, there's a probationary period. If it's not working out, or if they relapse or something like that, then they might have to leave. But we're always willing to welcome people back. If you relapse, if something happens, you go back out, get yourself cleaned up again, sorted out, and you can come back. We'll always take them back.
Yeah.
Awesome. We got to take a break. That was the voice of Sasha Appleby, Administration Manager at Beacon Farms. We also have in the studio Mr. Robert Ramon. Robert is the Agriculture Production Supervisor, and Sandy Arquart, CEO of Beacon Farms.
I'm Michael Webster.
And I'm Denise Brown of Cayman Insurance Center.
Family is not the most important thing, it's everything.
And for 45 years, we have worked with the community and their families on protecting themselves for the future.
Whether it's providing top-rated life insurance
or protecting your family's household investment.
From our family to yours, we understand and we care.
I'm Denise Brown. Call me at 814-7229.
And I'm Michael Webster at 925-5433.
We are Cayman Insurance Center,
specializing in property, life, and other lines of insurance products and services at an affordable rate. We are Michael and
Denise at Cayman Insurance Center.
Call today.
I tell you what, I need to find a way to bring my electricity costs down. I don't want to see another high bill next month.
Have you tried doing an energy audit?
A what?
An energy audit. The do-it-yourself energy audits on energy.gov.ky make it easy to find ways to save energy and money in your home or business.
Oh yeah? I'm going to log on to that website right now. What was it again?
Visit energy.gov.ky to download do-it-yourself energy audits for your home or business. There is even a fun activity guide for kids.
Complete an energy audit of your home or business before 31st of May 2023 to be entered into a prize giveaway. Prizes include a $5,000 gift certificate to Home Gas and gift certificates to Cooling Pros, Foam Pros, Costyless, and Foster's.
Visit energy.gov.ky today and follow the National Energy Policy on Facebook and Instagram.
Every boy, every girl, every mom, every dad, every student, every teacher, every scholarship provider. The annual Rotary Central Bill Rudy Science Fair is back. Saturday, April 22nd at the Ark Recreation Center, Camana Bay. A universe of science, invention, innovation, experimentation, botany, medicine, robotics, engineering. So much imagination, so much science. Your children, our children. The next Nikola Tesla, the next Albert Einstein, the next Stephen Jobs, budding climate scientists, maritime scientists, engineers, biomedical engineers. Hear them talk, see them show you how. The 16th Annual Rotary Central Science Fair, Saturday, April 22nd at the Ark Recreation Center, Camana Bay. This event is free to the public. Rotary, all that you can imagine.
Business Buzz. Business Buzz with your host, Anita Khan.
As we wind down the Business Buzz for this morning, speaking to the folks from Beacon Farms, Sasha, Robert, and Sandy. And I've learned so much during the break. Sandy, Robert, we're going to put the focus in. You're going to put a spotlight on you again. You're doing so much for the farm. You're the man. But Sasha, Sandy, you had a story during the break. Tell us about Robert and what he does, let's say, on a day-to-day basis.
Well, Robert's remarkable and truly is an example of what you can do with your life. He didn't know very much about farming, if anything, serious farming, when he first started about three years ago when I joined, and we were trying to turn it into a financially viable company. And from where he was at that day to what he's doing now, he's traveled a millennia in time. He grows a cross-section of plants efficiently, economically. The gross margins on them are good. We can sell them viably to different places. He's handling machinery that only a sophisticated farm would be using. He's mechanizing his planting so that now he's no longer planting manually. He's actually using machinery to do it. And I'll give you an example of how the farm operates. Robert's crew come in the morning and they use facial technology to log into the department that they're working in, and they touch the screen, and it tells them, and it lets the machine know precisely where they're working that day. It goes to my computer, it goes to the CFO's computer. So we're well aware of how much money that we're spending, and so is Robert. It's an incredible journey for a man who's started not knowing that much about farming. He has an iPad. If every day they work, they log in online, and they identify what they're planting, what fertilizer's been used, which field on the farm the planting was done, what the plant was, how many were planted. Have they used a friendly pesticide, because we only use organic material there. So it's a really complex world that he's had to learn. And I'm, you know, as a colleague who works with him, I'm just so impressed, and probably don't say it enough, that, you know, it's a pretty cool outfit that we have.
I'm pretty impressed,
You know,
Robert.
it's really...
Yeah, well, I have to give our lady Sasha over there. She really put this thing together for us, and it's really working. It's amazing.
Good job, Sasha.
When people get together and say, you know what, let's make a change of our life. Let us do this together as a team. It works. Believe me, unity is the key to success. You know, so that's in any company.
And you had never used any kind of technology before. All of this.
No, I haven't.
Was it difficult for you?
Well,
we gave him a crash course in spreadsheets and Dropbox.
Right.
Got him set up. So, yeah.
What kind of helped me a lot, when I go from work, I don't go sleep. I stays awake until 10, 11 o'clock, and I practice until I get it.
Very good.
Very impressed with that.
A lot of what we've just talked about, actually, as Robert alluded to, is produced by Sasha. You know, these are the actually, we don't have the senior supervisor here. He's holding down the fort at the farm right now. That's Obed, and I'll just say hello. Good morning, Obed.
Good morning.
And Sasha, as the administrator, and obviously a professional, she's an entomologist. And a brilliant one. She handles the science, the administration on the farm. She works with the CFO, Robert and I probably wouldn't have any software if it wasn't for Sasha.
Yes, sir.
Literally, we'd just be talking to each other, you know, every day, because I'm a dinosaur, you know.
Not very computer literate.
Yes,
Sasha's being polite, you know.
Too much information, though, right, Sasha?
What really amazes me more, though, if I text Alex at 10:30 at night, he answers me back. If I text him, he answers me back. I'm like, wow, we don't sleep at all, or what? So you know, we really up thinking and trying to get ourselves, it's amazing, though, but it at the long run, it pays off.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So how many do you have on staff right now, Sandy?
Well,
Sasha?
12. 13.
Yeah, 13.
And you do all of this, all the rock breaking and the planting and just about, and you do composting as well?
Yeah, we do.
How does that work?
Composting. We have the only, this won't make sense really unless you come and visit the farm, which we hope everybody would do, on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 11 o'clock in the morning. We have tours for the public. It's $12 a ticket, and it's worthwhile because every penny goes into our charitable foundation. Where were you? I lost track there. The composting, sorry. Yeah, we have the only static aeration composting facility in the Caribbean, and it's large, but it's still only a research and development scale. We'd like to get the funding to improve that to 3 times its size. Currently, everything that we produce from composting, we put on our own fields, but we would like to increase the scale of the compost facility so that we could sell it to other farmers on the island, because we know we can produce a high quality compost at a lower price than anything that's being imported. We're currently, and I don't know, I don't really want to say which supermarket chain, but we're currently working with one supermarket chain at the moment to start to take the green waste from the backs of the supermarket from one of their supermarkets as a research project, really, in the hope that we can expand it to other supermarkets, hotels, restaurants, etc. But we take waste from all the landscapers who want to drop by the farm. We just insist that nobody brings any non-biodegradable materials like plastic, because it interferes with the whole process. The static aeration compost facility is a really interesting facility in that we grind the compost, the wood, and the green materials, and cow manure, etc., horse manure, and we put it into an enormous smoothie blender, which is the height of this studio, and it gets chewed up for about half an hour. It gets thrown to one side, and then it's put on top of pipes that pump air into it over a 24-hour period for about 17 to 20 days and cooks it at about a temperature of about 150 to 160 degrees. And then after that, we take it, put it to one side, it cures, and for another 6 to 8 weeks, and then we put it on the fields.
So that process takes about what, 2 months?
It takes about 2 months instead of 6 to 8 months. So it really accelerates the process. Once we've finished our own fields, and Robert's got enough to really make the fields basically organic, then we'd really like to start selling it to the rest of the island, to householders, to farmers, to developers, because we do have a shortage of soil.
Yeah.
So hopefully one of these days you'll be able to sell that compost material.
Yeah, that'd be very nice. The island really
but you
needs
have to
that.
get your lot first.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and I also, on behalf of the rest of staff, want to say a big thank you to all the supermarkets out there who supports us, all the farmers market and all the donors. We want to take a big thank you to Foster's, Kirk's, Hurley's, and all those places. They really supports us. They buy us our produce. So if you guys want some nice local Beacon Farm produce, you find us in the supermarkets.
As an individual, can I come by the farm and purchase?
Sure, definitely. We have a little shop there. We have all the fresh goods there, fresh and ready, just picked.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
So I can get my coconut right there as well.
Everything.
The brown coconut, dried coconut, all chopped up.
Right.
Well, we're kind of using it for our oil. We haven't really gotten into the sale of coconuts themselves,
okay.
but the coconut product, the oils, the soaps, the lip balms, and stuff like that, we will have for sale at the shop.
All right, folks, we're almost out of time, but I just want to ask you to, I'll invite you to just, what would you leave with our listeners this morning? Sandy, starting with you.
Well, just please come and see the film, first of all. It's on until the end of May. It's on at Commander Bay Movie Theatre. It's on at 6:30 in the evenings on Wednesdays, and it's really worth seeing. And secondly, I would love it if more people came out to visit the farm on either Tuesday or Thursdays, and the tour times are 11 o'clock in the morning, and it's $12 a ticket, and the money goes directly to the foundation. So please come to both.
Do you have to make a reservation to be on that tour?
No, you can turn up at 11 o'clock, but it would be easier if you did ring and made sure that you got your place.
Okay. Can you give us some contact details?
Sure. You can contact info@beaconfarmscayman.org if you wanted to kind of just give us a heads up that you're coming, especially if it's a large group. I think that might be a good idea. I'm not sure if we actually said our location. That might might help.
Yeah, that would help a lot. That would help a lot. And your telephone number as well.
Okay, so if you want to come up for a tour at the farm or to buy something from our shop, we are located at 1531 Frank Sound Road. I don't know if you're familiar with the Big Church of God church on Frank Sound Road, but we're past them, around that corner, and we would be on the left-hand side.
And you have a sign.
And there's a big yellow sign out front. So you just go down that access road, follow it to our farm. You'll see a big house, and that's the office building there. So that's our location. Okay. And I would recommend, if you go to see the film, go on a Wednesday night, understand the background history, and then come out to the farm for a tour on Thursday. I think you would really enjoy.
That's a movie, changing lives through agriculture. Robert, your 5 seconds.
Well, this, I feel great, knowing that where we came from, where we are now. I know we got a lot more work to do, and I encourage everyone out there that who has a substance abuse problem, it's no shame. Straighten your life up, getting yourself together, and say, you know what, I am somebody.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
And that's a great way to leave this program this morning. I want to thank you, 3 of you, for being in the studio. Hopefully Susan will bring you back in. We want to hear more, because I know there's more we want to talk about. I didn't even touch Susan's script this morning. Sorry, Susan. But I just want to say thank you so much, Sandy, and Sasha, Robert, thank you. I want to thank our sponsor, Cayman Insurance Center. Without you, we couldn't do this. Thanks to the producer of The Buzz, Ms. Susan Watson. Thank you, Susan. Until Tuesday, April 25th, when we bring another Business Buzz, I want to say please stay safe, have a great weekend, and we'll see you on Tuesday. And don't forget to visit Beacon Farm and check out the movie Changing Lives Through Agriculture. We need to eat. We need to be sustainable. So we don't want to eat frozen food coming from somewhere else. We want to eat our own food here in the Cayman Islands.
Today's biggest news.
Radio Cayman.
Your voice, your choice.
Local, regional, international. This is Headlines from Radio Cayman's newsroom.
Today's